Hello, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
good
good
Yes, we
evening,
can
evening.
hear
madam.
you.
Yes,
All
good
right.
evening.
Good evening. Yeah, thank you. So sorry for
Yes, we
the
can.
delay.
We
So
thank
I've
God for
been
everything.
battling plenty network and I've changed different network and I just have to borrow somebody's phone before I was able to enter.
Okay.
All right. So can you hear me? You can hear me all.
Yes, I can. Personally, I can hear you
Yes.
myself.
All right. Thank you so much and thank you for being here. So how has been the class so far?
Happy Sunday to you.
Happy Sunday to you too. So how has
Fantastic.
been the
Happy
class?
that
I
thank
would
you.
love us to share a little of what we have heard so far. Okay, sorry, let me introduce myself. My name is Dorcas of Kuzan Global Academy. And we've been in this beautiful journey together for, I think this is the fifth day, and it's really been a nice time in our different classes, I believe. So I want to appreciate you all for staying through till this moment. So we intend to have an interactive session this evening. So it's not just going to be one person talking. We'll just have our resource person just do some little talks, and then we are going to be sharing our real life experiences, the challenges we have been facing in our different organizations, and then how we are, so that we can contribute together and see how ourselves together. Our intention is to help everyone grow in his different field. So that is it. So before we start, or before our resource person too will join us, I will want to say if you have something to share with us on what we've learned all this while from 24th till this moment. So you can just go ahead and let's hear from you. So just put up your hand if you want to talk, and then let's so that we can have a coordinated house. And I'm going to plead with all of us. Please, if you know you are not talking, kindly mute your mic so that the class will be coordinated. It will not be too noisy. I think that will help us a lot.
Okay.
All right. So I'm waiting for the first person that wants to say something in this class. Okay, I'm having Oladimeji. Oladimeji, you can go ahead. You can unmute yourself and talk. Is it Turaki? Turaki, please, can you help us mute yourself?
Hello? Okay.
Hold on, please. Okay, thank
Okay.
you, Ms. Turaki. All right, Oladimeji, let's hear from you. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. Happy
Good
to be
evening.
here. Yes, sir. From what I've learned, I've seen that sometimes I'm a head teacher. I work in a school, and I've seen that most views that the school owner has, like, okay, soldier go, soldier come, barracks remain. But from what I've learned, I've seen that, okay, the barrack can remain, but there'll be a crack that can even affect the barracks in that the culture of the place of work may not continue because the new one coming in, there's no one to lay it down to them, no one to teach them, and the time spent recruiting new ones coming in, then training them the way the policy of the school, training them the way things are done, could be a waste at the end of the day, and a lot of money is even lost to it. To me, I didn't really count it initially, but the course opened my eyes to a lot of things, which I appreciate the coordinator of this course too. And at the same time, I've also learned that in every workplace, every employee should see a future with that employment. They should be trained, not just be dormant,
I
not
can't
just
hear. Am
be
I the only
individual.
one?
Hello?
I'm hearing
Can you
her
hear me now?
clear.
I'm hearing her clear.
Okay.
We can
I'm
hear
hearing
we
her
can
I
clear.
hear you
can't hear
clearly.
anything. Am
Go
I the
ahead.
only one?
Thing is,
Okay, maybe
No, we
yeah,
you're
you
can
are
hear
the
her.
only
network.
one. Maybe you should try and go out and come in
Maybe your
again.
network is not good. We
Yeah.
can hear her.
Can I move
All
on?
right, write down, please. Yeah, write
Okay.
on.
Okay.
Let's mute
So
ourselves, please.
So this course has really helped me to see that as a head, but not just to make policy, you want to carry others along, you want to train them so that even if someone who is head, you should always train other person so that in case anyone just leave the pen that I'm leaving today, there won't be chaos. I think that has really helped me a lot, and I've started putting it in place even at my place of work. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. It's good. That's a good one. At least this is giving us hope that we are not wasting time here, and we've not stayed for this full 5 days for nothing. Somebody is already putting
No.
what he has learned into practice, and I will encourage everyone to try it to pay. That's it. All right. So I was having a second hand. I think somebody else was raising his or her hand. Can you just go ahead and Ekele Innocent? I think if I'm not missing it, if you can hear me, just unmute yourself and take the floor. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Can you hear
Good
me?
evening. Yes, we can.
Yes, we
Can
can
hear
hear
you.
you. All right.
Yeah.
I just want to say something about my own experience and which this course have really helped us. For me, I am the admin assistant in my organization, and so far, as an admin assistant, I've been seeing the kind of for a start, every company or organization has their culture. When I joined my company 2 years ago, there were this culture of operations that I met. At some point, I had to adapt to it. Then finding a way to make sure that I see that the ones I have also learned, I inculcate it into the culture. Though it was not an easy process, but it was worth trying anyway. I discovered as little things as having TGIF, create employees bonding, TGIF, retreats, so on and so forth. Things like that were able to, create this connection between employees. And even there was a particular person. At some point I also acted as the HR assistant to the HR in the company. And while working with her, I discovered that she doesn't care about these little things that brings employees together. You understand? She doesn't care about things like that. She doesn't. Sometimes it's what she wants they would do, and I think for me, she was being uh, direct, autocratic about the whole situation. But I discovered that doing one of those few things like employee bonding, creating TGIF, making employee feels, they started participating, and to some extent the productivity level within the organization rose by 60%, if I'm not mistaken. And from there they started asking. Now there was a particular month we didn't do this retreat, and I discovered everybody was complaining. We have been working for this so month to so month. Why are we not doing this thing that always keeps our spirits high? And you begin to see. So practically, I have seen where employees, when they don't get that uh they don't get to bond, they will not be productive as they are supposed to. And we're talking about retention, the part of retention few days back, and it was just bringing back those memories whereby if you really need to retain employees to do their job effectively, there are some certain strategies you need to employ. And the particular the my madam, as I would say, she's not really doing such kind of thing, but this course has really helped me in particular. I wish she was able to register for this course because seriously, she should have learned some of the lessons that I've learned and I've seen that it's working. That's part of my contribution, and seriously, I'm very happy I took part in this process. Yes, that is it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's a good one. Thank you so much for that review. That's great. Okay, we have the next person, Amalu. Amalu.
Good
Please,
evening,
you can
everyone.
unmute yourself. Yeah, good evening, ma'am.
At least genuine.
Okay. What I have to say is, I wouldn't say I'm fully into corporate world. I just ventured into corporate world. Like I said, I'm a receptionist intern. So, but with this great lecture, I have a great insight. Like I was feeling like I'm already an HR, honestly speaking, because with small conversations I have with my HR, I don't think she has all these qualities. And honestly speaking, I wish she was able to register for this, but we are not that close for me to, introduce her yet. But this is a very great insight. I feel like I should just employ for like I should just employ for HR this position. But honestly speaking, I really appreciate it. I'm so happy I registered for it. I really appreciate it. I'm so grateful to the facilitators. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Don't worry, the opportunity will come your way. There's one thing that we have to always do to ourselves. Make sure you are ready before the opportunity comes. They say a wise person is waiting for opportunity. So you are ready before the opportunity comes. So once the opportunity comes your way, before you know, you take it up upon yourself and you show them you can do it. But imagine you have the privilege of being a HR and you don't have the knowledge. Imagine the disaster. So that is why there is no training that is a waste. There is no training that is a waste, whether you are there or not. But if you are aspiring to be somebody great, learning is something you cannot do without. Thank you very much, man. I know the opportunity will come your way very soon. All right, I think we have another person, Ezekiel. After Ezekiel, we'll have, sorry, I can't pronounce this, your name. Ezekiel. Okay, after Ezekiel, we'll have another person. Is it Taino?
Geoffrey.
Tono.
Just call Geoffrey.
I won't go far.
All right. Okay, so let's have Ezekiel online. We can mute ourselves. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and good evening.
Good evening, sir.
This is Ezekiel. Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Danok. Well, it's Danok, or Danok, you can call. What I just want to really say here is I'm so proud to be part of this, and I give kudos to the team, Ekundayo, who I happen to chat with and communicate, appreciating these efforts. This has gone a long way, not just seeing the change within myself, but also seeing the change within my team. Because one of my team was actually the one that brought this up, and then I said, wow, this is something I think we all could go in. Unfortunately, not all of them are able to be part of it, but at least 4 of us, or 5 of us attended this session, which I'm so grateful for. Because the good thing about this, it has opened my eyes to so many things, just like our first, speaker, they said, or the second speaker, they, emphasized on the impact this has made. I have come to see the reality of what it entails, and in understanding what HR is all about. Sorry, I'm speaking the Danish language here. So the most important thing is the fact that coming to know as an organization or as a body, what are your goals and what are the driving force based on your strategic roles that you've put in place. So that has come to open my eyes to so many things. In respect to the work we are doing right now, we are into community development, and then community projects, and which my team are so dedicated to it. And I'm so glad that 4 of them are part of this team or part of this meeting, which it has opened our eyes to see the reality of what we need to take into consideration in order to help us achieve our goals. It's not just all about the paperwork. It's about the strategy we're able to put in place that will help us drive to attain our profitability and also growth. Being an NGO, what is the focus? And this is something that we've come to learn, or I personally have learned. I'm so grateful for that. One other thing that has really opened my eyes is the foundation, being laid of the human resources towards the global perspective. How is it seen? How is it understood globally? This is something that also has really opened my eyes to understand the need for a workforce planning forecast. I mean, to be honest, I never saw it in real time the way I understood it right now. So it has really given me a wider knowledge and a perspective on how one needs to think ahead, not just the now, and what do we need to make the tomorrow better. And that's where the issue of the workforce planning, so that we don't come lack at a point that we really need, or we come to have surplus, when we don't really have, places for all of them. So this really helps to structure, our advancement in terms of the work we intend to do. And on day 3, which you talked about the learning, the performance and retention, it gives a clearer view for me to understand more the need for us as a team to put our heads together to learn. And that is why this is the first learning process that actually we've put in place now. And this is, to the great of my knowledge, has set us a pace to continue learning, because by doing so, it improves our performances. And bringing about the improvement of our performances, it helps us to bring about that retention of these expertise that have been trained. And of course, it yields to our results attainment. So I'm so glad about this. And one other thing is the fact that talking about compliance, ethics, and culture, the question is, as I drafted the question, what is our strategy? What is our culture? How do we intend to move? And I believe they are hearing me. For some of them that are able to come online, are able to understand these are things that we should be working with now, with this change that has come into us, this knowledge that has come to us. They said knowledge is power. And when you have that power, you're able to drive your what? Your goals towards attainment. So I'm so pleased. Nkudayo and team, I say thank you and kudos to all of you, and also to all the participants. I appreciate you guys being part of this. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Ezekiel. That's a good one. God bless you. And thank you for giving us more knowledge and expressing. Okay. All right, Mr. Kunda, you can go ahead and say something before our resource person. Our resource person is actually online. So if you want to say something, Mr. Kunda, you can go ahead a few minutes before he will start.
Let me quickly say this before the resource person starts. It's 7:34 already, so that we'll be able to maximize our time. So I just want to thank all the participants for the active participation and listening to the feedback so far. It has been amazing. One beautiful thing that encourages us as facilitators, as organizers, is when we are able to realize that our training is having impact in the society. And that's why I want to quickly commend Mr. Ezekiel that just spoke now. He has been very up and doing. Well, how do I mean? He owns an NGO, and one of the members or one of the team, came across this training and shared it with him. And this is what we need. This is the kind of encouragement we need in our society. And he took it upon himself as a leader and, encourages more people to participate. Not just that, they did not just, it was up and doing, giving me feedback, giving his own contribution. And not just that, he also ensured that all the team members, they all registered for the certificate. So the point I'm trying to make is when we see opportunities like this, I'm surprised that you see some persons, they will benefit. You can see the feedback. The feedback has been amazing. Everybody has seen that this is not just a theoretical class where you just speak English. This is something applicable. This is something that has to do with experience. Even those that are yet to be in the HR field can already see that, oh, who is this person? Can already feel the impact. So please, please, I want to encourage us when we see opportunities like this, because what can make trainings like this helpful to the organization? I think about 3 persons spoke here and they were like, they wish their HR is actually in the training. So this can be painful when you can see a kind of gap in your system and opportunities like this come, but unfortunately, those that can fill that gap are not, part of trainings like this. So it means if care is not taken, you will have the knowledge, but those that are really in charge that can put the knowledge into implementation, they are not here. So please, when we see training like, let's always try as much as possible to share. All organizations have WhatsApp platform. Share with them. It costs you nothing. The training is free. We have paid courses, we have free courses. This is a free course, and nobody is imposing on or mandating certificate on you. The certificate is optional. We make that very clear from onset. So, but at least you have the knowledge, you are applying it, and we get feedback from you that, oh yes, the knowledge, the training is really something worth it. It's something that, oh, you have been applying. Like the first speaker that spoke, imagine she owns a school and she's part of this training, and you can see how this training has impacted her, even to the extent of changing a kind of narrative that, oh, soldier go, soldier come. So if we have leaders like that joining trainings like this, it will help the community in the long run, because once they get it right, once they do things in the right way, every other person, the subordinate part of the team, they will also benefit. So in summary, please, when next you see opportunities like this, at least you are taking the training for free. Just do that kind gesture of sharing the training on your WhatsApp platform. Whoever participates in such kind of training through you, they will be grateful to you, because you have also impacted them directly or indirectly. Thank you very much, everyone. We really appreciate you. And we appreciate all our team members, the organizers, and all facilitators who has contributed to the success of the program. So I think we should allow the resource person to take over now. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Kundayo. That was a great one. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's it. Like if you're a leader in an organization, it's good when you are coming into something like this. Bring in your staff so that you will flow on the same page. So that when you are saying something, the person will not be lost. It's something the person has learned. He has the knowledge, he has what it takes, so that your organization can grow as it's supposed to. Thank you very much, sir. At this time, our resource person is not actually a facilitator. It's still going to be a discussion. Those things that eat up our organization so much. So I think we'll be discussing more on things like that. Thank you very much, sir, Mr. UZ. I can see you in the group. You can please unmute yourself. And yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Hello,
sir.
Good evening, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, so would unmute and possibly reduce the video stuff so that there will be the traffic will be lesser and we'll get some good output. Okay, by way of introduction, my name is Uzwazo Ikelegwin. Shortly, just Mr. UZ. I'm an accountant and the US SDG advocate, and I Consult. So I'm not going to be talking to us from a HR profession standpoint. I'm going to be talking to us from the global perspective and expectations of HR, and then we will discuss, people management challenges. So I sent a short slide. Maybe Madam Dorcas, you can share it if need be, but let's just run through it. So what I will be talking to us is the strategic HR management, and we'll be limiting it around employee and stakeholder management. So we'll talk briefly on the who is an employee stakeholder. How do we project the sustainability of the company or the organization, and how employees now we transit from being employee to becoming a stakeholder employee, and then we'll close from there. Okay, I believe by now we all know what the SDGs are. The UN SDGs, we just have 4 more years. Yeah, 5 years, but technically 4 years. By 2030, we are expected to meet 17 goals. And number 8 of those goals is decent work environment and economic growth. And in that SDG, they identify that strengthening the employers' employment and income generating programs will be a tool to eradicate poverty. Also, it's expected that employees should have a decent work environment to enable them, perform their duties. So from that goal perspective, the major department or the unit of every organization that is responsible for this decent work and economic growth of employees is the human resource unit. So traditionally, we know human resources, they do employee management, right? They recruit, they onboard, they deploy, they manage the growth, and till your retirement or you are exiting. So they manage the workforce from sourcing, onboarding to exit. So that is the employee, they manage the employee-employer relationship. But there is a shift from this goal orientation. And also in corporate governance, they see the employee as a stakeholder, but to the extent that the employee is the one that contributes the labor. We're in the introduction slide now, so as the 3rd slide. So employee is the one that contributes the labor, okay, that is needed to manage the convert the machineries, make them productive, and create value. But what we are shifting to is where employees are not just seen as contributors, but they are seen as stakeholders in the sustaining the business. So if you take people out of the business and put all machines everywhere, it will not deliver. As such, you still need people to manage the machines. So by the next slide, we want to talk about who is really this stakeholder employee. Who is the employee that is now a stakeholder? So a short definition here is that an employee stakeholder is an employee of an organization who has a vested interest in the success or the failure of the organization. The operating word there is vested interest. And it is that interest that the human resource unit should now begin to manage, fine-tune, and extract values that will support the organizations, the life of the organization. In finance and accounting, we see an organization as a continuum. There is this continuity concept that the organization is meant to continue indefinitely. Okay, but what organizations also die. So what makes them die or make them live is the people that are engaged to manage the organizations. And the HRO unit is the unit that manages these people. So I put in here that each employee creates a value. And the value, the sum value of all the employees becomes the value of the organization. So it goes to show that logically, the better the value of each employee, the better the value the organization can create. And the better value the organization creates, the more it has to exchange for it to survive. And I needed to add here that the survival of every organization, sorry, I didn't put it in the slide. I think it's a slip of me. I did this evening. The survival of every organization is based on the cash flow it generates. Whether it's government, whether it's a business, whether it's NGO, whether it's a church, that's charity. However, provided it is an organization, what sustains the organization is the revenue, which is the cash flow. And what sustains the revenue?
You never even do that in your first time.
Are we together?
Yeah, we're together.
Yes.
Yeah, we are together.
Move
Yes,
on,
sir, but we are
I'm
not
hearing you.
seeing
Move on.
your
Yes,
slide.
we're together.
We are not seeing your slide anymore.
Okay, the
Can
slide.
move on. I don't know.
Dorcas, can you share this slide?
We're not seeing the slide.
No one that first one. No. This first one to make it for sense, but now the finishing can't spoil our work.
Sorry, please, can you put your stuff so that, so where I was explaining value, the relationship between what sustains the organization, that is the value that the organization creates, which it exchange for cash, that's revenue, that will sustain that organization. And the people that create this value are the employees. They use the machines, and if there are machines, and they create these values. So where you have a motivated staff, by compensating, when you compensate staff, they work. So compensation, which with the employee benefits, will only motivate the staff to work. They can just come, work, collect their money, and think of somewhere else to go or another organization to join and all of that. Okay, so that's not the kind of staff we're looking. That's not a stakeholder. The stakeholder staff is the one who contributes and still, try to see how will this company continue to exist. And if the company is existing, what is my benefit? So that staff is the staff who has the capacity to influence the performance of the company, and also his own performance, his own benefits. So I stated in the next slide, employer sustainability. Sustaining the company is dependent on revenue. And employees are the ones that create or the value that gives this revenue to the company. And we said the human resources will manage the employees. So I put in a short form here that employer that's motivated and has vested interest in the success of the organization, they are more likely to work. They will work more for the success and sustainability of the organization. They will be more prepared to go the extra mile. They will be more prepared, to give their best because they know that they are going to benefit. They know they have a stake. They know that this company will be a blessing both to their community and to them. So that's how these employee sustain the employer. Now, when we see employee from this perspective, what then is the role of HR? What are the expectations now? So traditionally, the employee works for salary or works for whatever benefit, whether it's commission, salary, or whatever. But now we want to move them to have vested interest. So that is a transition. And this transition can cause stress. The owners of this organization, if it's a one-man business, is going to be threatening because they will feel that it will affect both the ownership structure, it will affect the decision-making structure and all of that. But that is the myopic view. The main things that will make these employees to have this vested interest are, one, job security. They see the working environment, the career growth, where they know that if they are working in this place, they can grow to this extent. Then they also see the support for their personal development, which the organization offers to them. So when these things are in place, or they perceive and they know that these things will be in place, they are more likely to do more. Then when they have the opportunity to also invest in the company and achieve some other cooperative goals, then they begin to develop interest in the organization. And this interest, when they develop it, they will go as much as buying into the shares, trying to be part of the company. They want to work and do their best. So what will HRO do? HRO needs to convince the owners that give real expert advice to them that these allowances, when they give, it will help the company is the beneficiary. But when you threaten staff at the slightest provocation, or you make them know that, look, this is my company. You are not the owner. We are the owners. And if you do this, I can hire and fire you. In such, environment, it introduces toxic into the relationship. And where HRO now begin to feel that they have the power to query, the power to dent, the power to exit a staff, and they use it at staff, without even the knowledge of the owners, they create more problem. So these are the interplays that HRO need to bring in. So how would they do that? You know, the HRO can design programs that guarantee job security. They design the career paths, they do training for the staff and enhance their capacity to deliver. They can design training programs that can support their education, personal development, schemes like that. Then the real one that's is the expectation of the global expectation is how employees begin to have stake in the equity of the company. They invest. They can have loans where they do for buildings. They have loans for their trainings, and they are also leverage. There are leverages where they can participate in profit sharing. And when if it's a company, for instance, if it's a hotel, like when we design asset management for hotels, they are critical assets. We create a lifetime for them. So, for instance, the AC can serve up to 10 years, but if we depreciate the ACs and by 5 years we have completed the depreciation, we design a program where we can get an AC company to buy the AC, do a buyback, and get a new one. But at times, we also create a leverage where 50% of that goes to staff. We give opportunity to staff to bid for those ACs at a very low cost. They are still working, but they are fully depreciated. So we change them, and staff get those ACs or get those assets. When staff have these privileges, they are more. You don't need to buy their loyalty. You don't need anything to cut them, to get them to be loyal. They devote their loyalty to the company, and they want to work. So these are the expectations of HROs that's we are looking at, and we hope that with this they will be able to drive organizations towards achieving the SDG 8, creating decent work environment where employees are very free and good and future thinking. One thing I didn't explain, organizations where you have up to 20 employees and you give them opportunity to have cooperative gatherings. For instance, by January, you encourage them to do some cooperative savings towards December, and such that if they are able to save any X amount, the company will match that savings with an X percentage to support their maybe December expenses. That way, the company reduces the burden of 13th month salary and also meets the employees' expectations. Things like that. You see employee interest now interwoven with the organization interest, while the organization benefits, the employees also benefit. So in conclusion, we are looking towards where HRO management will shift from treating employees as labor to treating employees as assets, where HRO will enhance the stakeholder structures of employee from contributors to beneficiaries of profit and continuity of the firm, then which will in turn improve their ability to contribute to the sustainability of the organization. So we also look forward to HRO to be able to develop expertise in handling this transition and reducing the threats to owners. So we look forward to improvement and enhancement of employee management. And in delivery, this SDG 8, creating decent work environments and employee economic growth. So for all of us participating, I hope that you are HRO practitioners or will be HR practitioners. This is what the world is expecting of you. Treat these employees as real assets that can turn your company around and let them benefit also. Thank you so much for your time and the opportunity to talk to you.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. That was
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so at this time, I will be expecting
Thank
a
you.
lot of hands
So
who
much,
want
sir.
to just
That was an interesting lecture.
ask some questions. The class it was so short so that we will have enough. We know we've learned a lot in the class, but we need to bring it from this perspective so that all our learning will be like a 360. So I'm expecting to see lots of questions. Let me know if you have questions to ask. Our resource person is still here. You can ask questions. You can bring in more contributions based on the topic discussed. Yeah, so the floor is open. If you are here and you want to make some contributions, you have questions, please just put up your hand. Yes, 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 yes. No hand? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Can you?
I'm expecting to
Hearing you.
Yes, we can.
answer questions.
Actually, we are really in anticipation for a continuous lecture. So we can just put the questions and answer right.
Should we assume we don't have questions so that I can?
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good
Yeah, good
evening.
evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello.
Hello,
Good evening, sir.
good evening,
Yeah,
sir.
good evening. We can hear you.
Good
Yes.
evening.
My question is short. I want to ask if you can get the recording version of this Zoom meeting, sir.
Okay, yes, the
Okay.
class is recorded. Yes, the class is recorded. So we'll get the recordings there.
Okay,
tomorrow.
thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The
Okay, we
lecture
get-
is very, very well explicit. Thank you, sir.
Okay, we have Mr. Ezekiel's hand up. Please, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you so much. And a great thanks to Mr. Uzozo Ikelebe, if I'm correct. Pardon me. You, in the course of your briefing, you actually made mention of the fact that talking about cash flow being the sustenance. Does it mean that is the only pathway towards the success or sustenance of an organization? Or could there be an alternative to this, especially in our generation that we see things happening and innovation is just, going so fast? What could be other possible thoughts that can be put in place that will encourage us to foresee as the workforce, as we plan, not just only based on cash flow? Does it mean there's nothing else that could be done? Or could only cash flow be the sustenance of an organization? Of course, they said where there's no money, nothing happens. But what is our thinking? If you get me right.
Yeah, if I understand you, is whether cash flow is the only source of sustaining a business.
Yes.
Okay. In this context, the primary resource that sustain every business is cash flow. Everything the business does is to generate cash flow. If it is profit oriented, the profit is measured in the cash and impact. If it is not profit oriented, you need cash to run your business. Every organization has two classes of expenditures. The operating expense, which is OPEX, and the capital expense, which is the CAPEX. The capital expenditures is investment for you to generate more income. So with all this, why I didn't want to go too deep, but for now, with employees are seen as OPEX. But the idea, the transition is to move employee costs into a capital-oriented cost, such that these are the main assets that generates the money that you're looking for. Your value you create, the product you create, the usefulness of the products you create, they all add to sustaining your organization. But if you don't exchange that product of value for money, then you can't, you may exist for a while, but you are going to wind up. And no, even the charity organizations, the NGOs that don't sell, they depend on donors. And the donors or the donor of the organization that give them money, they rely on the value that they are creating, the impact they are making.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a value proposition, you won't get the first donation. But when you have a value proposition and you get the first inflow, that is still cash. If it does not have impact as you propose, you're not going to get the next one. If you're a government and you tax people, they don't see what you use the tax money for, they won't want to pay tax no more. Then if you don't have tax, you want to borrow. When you borrow money, that's also cash. You need cash to generate cash to pay back that money you have borrowed. So everything revolves around the cash inflow to invest. And you expend it in cash outflows, then it needs to come back in revenue. So the machinery that brings it back in revenue is machines and people, the employees.
That's right. And then, of course, the goals.
Yeah.
Or the vision. Yeah.
So
anyway,
your vision can be very, very fantastic. You have all the money, Bill Gates can give you the full money to run that vision. Okay. But if you don't have the right employee to run the vision, they will run you aground and money doesn't come no more. So employees are key, really, really key. So that's why people management skill is needed. So you don't see an employee who is ambitious and becomes a threat. No, you make that ambitious employee, to have a stake in your company, and he will use his ambition to drive your company to higher, heights that you may not have gone. And who benefits? You benefit more. So if only you run the company and you make 1 million a month, and you have another guy, an employee, he comes in, you gave him a part, and you say, look, if you make more profit, you will have 10% of the profit. okay, and he puts in the best, you start making 3 million. So 10% of 3 million is 300,000. So you're going away with 2.7 instead of 1 million. Who benefits is you. But if you're afraid and say this guy wants to take my company from me, he is taking the loyalty of my staff, he parts. I think this guy is even dubious, is diabolical. You are the one losing. You stay with 1 million.
Yeah. Thank you so much for this. I don't know if you're true. I needed to add something here.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. I mean, actually, the last statement you made was one of the questions I really want to ask again, because we've seen a situation whereby you find that, most employers, become afraid of their employees simply because of how outgoing they are, and just like you rounded it up, I think we'll leave it at that. The issue is this, this has made me think so deep, and that is where the idea of this workforce plan that I've learned in the course of this project or course of this program have really brought us something in me as a challenge. And that's the same thing I'm throwing to each and every one of us, 103 that I could see we are online, as a new breed of human resource management staff, potentially.
Yeah.
We are just like we're in a box. So we need to think out of a box. And what do I mean by that? This is a challenge. This is a challenge I want to throw to us, all inclusive, the resource persons. Let's think. Let's bring out something. We are in an age of innovations. AR is into play, and so many things are happening. I want to see where we're able to make a drift from this cash flow being a sustainability factor to something that we can be able to bring out as an alternative to just the issue of cash flow. That's why the challenge is the fact that this keeps breathing in me. Can there be an alternative? Can there be another way? So that's one of the things I really want to put before us, because actually you pinpoint quite a number of issues about talking about the value propositions, the impact, and also the idea of how this can be able to push us, to change the narrative of this cash flow equals to sustenance or sustainability, to instead something that will bring about the sustainability we're talking about. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's actually my challenge to Rosal.
Let me not box you or make you give you a challenge that will make you run around circles.
Yeah.
Cash flow here has to do with the resource to run the business.
Quite true. Yeah.
So we have the employee cash flow is different from the business cash flow. The employee thinks of cash flow as just the salaries and benefits, what they can get out of the business. But the drift is, look, we need to expand the employee thinking from that salary to a stakeholder. A stakeholder is an investor. A stakeholder is one who have a long-term interest. A stakeholder is one who has influence on anything, either for its success or failure. So these employees are, if they are salary driven and the salary is not met, they are more likely to take actions that will influence the failure of the organization. But if they are driven beyond salary, for instance, they have a housing loan that's they are building their houses, okay? Or they have a plan that once you do 3 years, you will be able to get a loan for a plot of land. Or once you do 5 years, 4 years, you will be entitled to a loan for equity investment. And an employee that has a reasonable equity investment will never contribute to anything that will bring down the performance of the organization. Instead, where there is a challenge, this employee will begin to think and become innovative how to resolve that challenge. But we have this our traditional RO management is the one that puts employee as operatives. So the management think, bring out the strategy, gives to the employees, and the employees run with it. So it's only those who can grow to the management cadre that have this employer, sense of belonging. That shouldn't be. So we need to move the least employer and least employee into the thinking of the owner. So you need an owner-employee thinking. So that's the innovative drift that you look for. But I don't see anything in the next 100 years, no matter the scientific advancement, technology advancement that we are going to have, that is going to change the resource of operating or sustaining a business or an organization from cash flow. It's like saying that there's a technology that is going to take away breath, and you don't need to breathe again. You just plug up to something and you exist. It doesn't work that way. Cash flow is the blood of every organization, whether be it government, just name it. To live, you need blood. For any organization to live, they need cash.
That's right. Yeah. And I'm so grateful because now the clarity is being made, which I'm happy because I have learned more to this with the fact that now when we talk about the cash flow, it's not just all about the cash itself, but it could be also an individual that's involved or engaged in the work that is doing. And it's all about carrying them along, making them to also own the business or being part of the decision making. But of course, we know that the trends of what is happening in our everyday life today is quite challenging. So the fact that how many can be able to be taken along, no matter how intelligent you are, but as long as you're not in the, in the leadership cadre, you don't have anything to say. Which is actually, for me, I see it as a detriment when we talk about growth and development in organizations.
Yeah.
So this actually brought me to think this way, with the fact that what you've just said or explained give it more or make it more sense, in the sense that, yes, if we carry each and everybody along, making them to have that sense of belonging in understanding the precepts and how we can work together as a team in achieving our visions and goals, then it makes sense. But the other question is the fact that how many can we see this happening, especially with the way situations are happening in the country today? Thank you.
Okay, yeah, that's where HRO will come in. The way HRO manages it, that's how we see more of this happen.
Well, thank you very much, sir. It's been great. I think we have Mr. Korede of Clever FX. I can see his hand up. Please, sir, can you go ahead?
All
if
right.
You can hear.
All right. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful lecture. There's a question I'd like to ask. I'm sort of playing devil's advocate here, but I would like to ask what your thoughts are in terms of managing top talent, because what you said concerning the fact that, okay, employers are afraid of, their staff at times, that, oh, they might come, they might take over the business, which is actually a legitimate concern. Sometimes there's the thought that if you want to run a business, you should surround yourself with a team of people who, to a large extent, know more than you. That is a line of thought. So in a situation whereby you hire people who you know are very entrepreneurial, and there's the danger that they might actually walk away with your
Hello.
I think he has it.
I think it's network.
Live?
And he was making a point.
Yes.
All right,
Was making
sir.
a
Please.
good point.
Can systematically passive
Say.
information.
Are you talking with us? Okay.
I don't think he's back.
No, Mr. Onate, can you go ahead? I can see your hand up, please. Before he returns. Okay, let's have Joy. Can we have Joy? If you can hear me, please unmute yourself. Hello? Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Hello, yes, I can hear you.
Hello? All right,
Okay.
Mr. Korede, welcome. Please take it
Yes, I
up
can
from
hear
where
you.
you stop.
Okay, all right. So I was saying in a situation whereby, because I've encountered such a challenge as well, whereby I hire people and, you find them, talking to clients behind your back, trying to sort of steal the business and steal the clientele. So, and the truth of the matter is, yes, at a certain point in time, when you hire top talent, it will definitely cross their mind at some point that, look, I can actually start this business and, do it myself, and they might try to. So I would like to know what your thoughts are in terms of managing top talent in the sense that you can keep them interested, you can keep them vested, as you've said, while not pushing them to the point whereby they walk away with your business or walk away with your clientele. So I would just like to know what your thoughts are. How do you balance or strike that fine line between maintaining or the top talents that you have and not giving them all the tools to walk away with half of your business or even everything?
Okay. I think let me be sure that I understand you.
Yes.
You have top talents, and there is the possibility that they can steal your business or steal your clients. Or they do business behind you, and that definitely affects your performance. Now, I like looking at problems from within before I want to see what the outside, the external causes will be. First, if you run a business and you have staff, generally or by default, human beings are greedy. So when you do business and you have smart guys, first you need to build in your own safeties that protects your own business. But while you building those safety, you must create the comfort for them to operate. But the only area where they can steal your business or steal your client is where there is dissatisfaction. If there is no loss in or devaluation in service delivery or a devalue of your product, there is no gap, then they will not be able to steal from you. Because your clients did not come because of them. They came because of the business. So you engage them to deliver the service or product of the business. So if they now have this posture of they can do it more than the employer, you don't need to be afraid. You really don't need to be afraid, because such persons they don't go far. But where the defect is on you, or the products. And these staff, before they will want, most times, most of such staff, before they will want to think of doing it better than you or doing it, taking the business and doing it themselves, they will first, in most cases, present their ideas to you. It is when you entertain these threats, you, by default, you will reject their idea, even when you know that it is superior to yours. But a smart employer will take that idea and bring this guy closer and work together. Then now the company will now own the idea and not the person, the staff that brought it. You don't even mind, compensating the staff for such smart ideas. So when they know that, look, you are open to ideas and you are open to the growth, they will be free to bring in more. And the truth is, no one staff has the capacity to replicate an organization. So you accept they will have to get investors, and for them to get investors is some journey.
Yeah.
So that threat is not born out of growth. Is born out of the thoughts that you know it all, you can do it better than any other person. No, just be open. Once you are open, it minimizes that threat. You take, if you do, SWOT analysis.
Yeah.
If you apply SWOT analysis to that, you will see how you will minimize the threat and take the strength and capitalize on the opportunity and let the company own it. That's my thoughts on it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so very much, sir. It's been answered happily.
Let me conclude with this. See, when there is a defect, the customers don't know you. They don't care who brings the product. They don't care who brings service. What they need is service excellence. Today, why microfinance banks are closing up, OPay, Money Points are scaling in billions. They are doing better than some commercial banks because of delivery. So that's my thought on that.
All right. Thank you so very much, sir. Highly appreciated. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I think I can close in another 5 minutes. Can we?
Sorry. Okay, I think we take somebody. I don't know. I've been seeing this person's hand. Is it Onate? Onate, please. Can you hear me? You can unmute yourself and talk, please. I wouldn't want us to actually reach 9 o'clock. I want us to close on time. Today is the last day. So after today, we'll be dropping a test link. Well, we'll just take some tests, then we'll start issuing out our certificates. Onate, you can unmute yourself, please. You are muted.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, thank you. So I really appreciate the lecture tonight. It's so glaring. So yeah, thank you for that in the knowledge you imparted on us on this program. You see, one of the things that I discover is this. Hello?
Yeah, we can't hear you.
We hear you. Please ride on. Ride on.
It's network. I think it's network.
Yeah.
It was network issue. The network is bad.
Network in our country is wonderful as well. Okay,
Very, very wonderful.
Okay, I don't know. Mr. Ezekiel, your hand is still up. I would have loved others to talk, then you will now speak before our resource person will say something before we close. We have a few minutes to go.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to what the last speaker said, but let others speak since I've spoken. Then if it is time, then I can I can just drop just 1 or 2 words. That's also.
Okay, I think we will let you talk now since the person that was talking network threw him off.
Okay.
It's not back.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. I just to add to what our last brother, just said regarding, the issue of, the fear of losing, top talents, and what could be. And also, the responder has also responded very well, as in one of the things. One of the things that actually I have worked with, which I would say it has helped to an extent, I won't say 100%, is the fact that in such kind of situation, there is that need for us to manage, them or such kind of top talents, employers, employees with a balance of trust, then plus legal protection, plus recognition, which that's one of the things that was highly emphasized, and then also the shared of ownership, which we talked about. To an extent, if this is put in place, I believe it will go a long way to, to die down this fear, of the fact that, oh, what's going to happen? They're going to steal my talent, my ideas, and stuff like that. But I think the act of building trust is very, very important in that sense, just like I mentioned. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. I think we have Osineye. Osineye, please. 2 minutes. Then after you, we have Ekele Innocent. Unmute yourself, please, and talk. Osine, are you here? Ekele, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can I go on?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
All right. I want to ask, first of all, thank you very much for the lecture so far. I'm grateful for everything that you guys have done. I'm really getting a lot from this. I want to ask, in a situation where an employee feels he's not getting the right amount of care, let me put it that way, amount of care he deserves, and knowing fully well that the company have put in place things like health program for the employees, welfare in terms of birthdays and other things, other stuff that comes as together with the employment, and the employee feels he is not being taken care of the way it ought to be. Salaries are okay for me. When I hope we all know that when we say salaries are okay, it's subjective. So then the aspect of other welfares are being taken care of, and that employee still feels he's not getting what he or she deserves. How do you go about that? That's one. Secondly, when you meet employees who are how do I put this word now? Mischievous, causing confusion between employees because probably they have better offers out there. It's possible, yes, they have better offers out there, and they tend to manipulate other employees. How do you handle that? Thank you. That's my question.
Okay. I could respond to. Can this guy let me respond to Ekele? Innocent. Innocent, you asked 2 questions. One where an employee is feels is not getting the right care that he deserves. Then the second question is how do you deal with employees that are mischievous, manipulative? Okay, let me start with the mischievous employee. An employee is by default, if one who wants to serve so that he can earn, offer a service so that he can earn. So the need to earn that money, what puts them in control. If not, nobody wants to work. Okay. So
yeah.
If such person is mischievous and you identify the person as mischievous, then that calls for discipline. Straight, if you are a personnel or you are in a position of responsibility, I didn't say authority, you are in a position of responsibility. You are the supervisor of that employee. Straight, you don't wait for HR, you discipline that employee and copy HR, notify HR, take the discipline and notify HR that this person did this and you have taken this disciplinary measure. If that employee is being mischievous just because he's playful or he has something else outside, he will drop his resignation and go for the other one, because nobody wants, no human likes, that kind of treatment. No human loves discipline, especially when they have alternative. Okay. But if the employee repeats this mischievous act after your discipline, it means that employee has some connections in that organization that is more than your level of responsibility. And if you are HRO, you can understand why such employee is behaving that way. Then you need to take it up and let the discipline come from a higher level. But that mischievous or manipulative acts attracts discipline, and that is just it. If you are not able to discipline the person, it means that your employer or those that are above you, they will weaken you and just pretend as if they want to discipline or take care of the situation. But then you need to read in between the lines and understand what has happened. Then employee who feels is not getting the right care, what care are you looking for that you don't have? If you don't have the right care, then to make a complaint. If they are not attempting to complain, then something is wrong. So your care is to the extent of your employment. Except you have the capacity to create employment for yourself, I don't feel it is a right attitude to begin to feel to determine right care or not right care. No. So if you work on that path, you are likely going to be personally or inwardly demotivated. So salary cannot motivate such persons. And the work environment, such persons easily see faults. So they need counseling, and you need to work hard to work with the organization and see how they can constructively give suggestions to improve the work environment. So for instance, if it is maybe you are supposed to go on leave and they deny you your leave, then they need to pay you. If they deny you your leave, it's converted to cash. There is always that stuff. But if, for instance, you are supposed to benefit from, I don't know, maybe, would I say, I can't place it, but whatever is making you to feel that you're not taken care of properly, you need to work at it, because, the other benefits are to some extent, there's a word for it. I know there are fringe benefits, but it's not an entitlement. It is only the entitlement that you can stand and say, look, I'm entitled to this, I'm entitled to this, I'm entitled to that. I'm entitled to my salary. Salaries are rewards. They are not a gift. When you work, you have to be paid. It becomes the company is indebted to you, but the company is not indebted to take care of you, except the health that is by law and pension that is by law and all of that. So I'm a little bit not too giving to employees that demand for care. You don't pet you to work. Come do your work and get paid. So or we'll make the place conducive.
Thank you very much, sir. I think we're having a lot of hands here, and I don't think we'll be able to take
I'm
all
about to go. Since they said they should raise hand, they didn't raise hand. Now that I should leave, they want everybody's raising hand. Can we take just two, please?
Yes, I think what we'll do is that the two we are going to take, we'll allow them ask their question or say what they want to say in 1 minute. Then you can combine everything and respond to, and then we close for the day. So let me start with, please, if I call your name, unmute yourself and talk. Okoji Anthony. Okoji Anthony, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Good evening.
Okay, good evening. Please, your question in 1 minute or your contribution in a minute, please.
All right. Thank you for this wonderful program. I'm really blessed. And my question is this: as an administrator of a school, you have a staff that you have you've done so much for them, organize programs, seminars, give them incentives and things like that. And at the end of the day, you still find some of them still not giving you what you want. They still want you to pamper them to work. They still want you to, they demand for things like add to salary, give us this, give us that. Even when you are doing so much for them to be self-independent and be able to, in fact, it became worrisome to me. So, and I keep asking, what do we do to such an employee or a staff to change their mindset of always demanding for incentive rather than doing the work that is expected of them? So that's my major question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ma. Please, I know you are taking notes. Let's take the next person. Please, the hands are increasing. We might not take you all. We have Oyok E. Please, if you can unmute yourself and speak, just ask your question in a minute also for your contribution. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for this lecture. I really appreciate. Okay, in a situation whereby you want to make his or her staff part of the company, you give them incentives or propose incentives to them, making them part of the company, not just salary earners at the end of the month. And then you discover that they are now being pompous on their desk of work. Everybody wants to be a headmaster in his or her desk, where you give out instructions, being pompous about it, carrying shoulders up. What do you do in that instance? Because you've already made them part of the company, making them a part of the shareholders in the company, not just salary earners. So in that aspect, what do you do? Because sacking them, it's more or less like putting back people into the labor market. So what do you do in this aspect? Thank you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I hope my question was.
If I understand your question, it's closely related with the last person that spoke, where you do all for your staff, you train them, you expose them to the company, and even make them earn, but they don't want to work and they don't want to give their best.
Not that they don't want to work, they are working, but they are being bosses, bossing on their desk. You understand? For instance, the accountant giving out an accountant an instruction. She will now say, no, she was waiting for the operation staff to finish, hand over this or to do that other one. The job is a chain reaction. If I don't finish my job, you cannot move on with your own job. So why can't you just go ahead of your work, use your initiative? Is it because you have been given some entitlement mentality? You now want to be a boss, sit down and wait for the owner of the company to now come out and start doing your job for you or issuing out instructions? So in that case, what do you do? If you start sacking them or relieving them of their duty, you are sending them back into the labor market and then going to bring new people that you have to train all over again. And what do you do? Because it's frustrating.
Let me start from it's quite frustrating. Yes, I see that because the cost of hire and onboarding, is high, and for that reason, company, when we put the two costs together, it's easier to train and upgrade your staff than hiring a fresh person. Okay. But this has to do with effective management. It shows weakness on your effective management of your staff. So it is your effectiveness in managing them that will bring their efficiency in doing their job. So if you have elevated your accountant, or you have given recognition to your accountant to the extent that he is part of management or is earning from the company, and he is now misbehaving, he should receive a more severe disciplinary measure than a staff who has not been elevated. So, it's you that gave him opportunity to earn. Is your prerogative. If that gets into his head, take it off him. And never, ever believe that you or have the feeling that, look, if I exit this staff, I'm putting them back to the labor market. No, that's their business. Your business is not charity. So if they want to be on the street, okay, is you have, for every position for every staff you have a minimum of 100 persons who are ready to take over immediately. So if you allow them that, because you want to bring them into the business, you want them to be stakeholders, and they abuse it, no, you don't give room for such abuse. Those are the safety nets you need to develop in bringing the staff into your business. So that approach, you have to be more firm and effective in disciplinary actions. That you are close, or you are playful, or you give them privileges, that then once they abuse a privilege, you take it off. Then the next person will become a deterrent. That's my response to that one. So the first question is on training, that you have trained the staff and they are not responsive. They still want to ask for increased salary. They still want to ask for benefits here and there. It shows that they do not appreciate the company. Because if your company is making 1 million and you don't allow any person in the company to know that what you are making is 1 million,
they will assume that you are making 10 million. And if you run the company and you make 1 million and you spend 700,000 to run the company, which means you have a window of just 300,000. So if a staff is asking for increase, meanwhile the company have a need of 500,000, and then what is the effectiveness of your training? Because we as employers, we like to hoard this information, believing that when they know, then it means they know everything about your company. No, let them know where you are, and when you are growing, they will know you are growing. You are the one that invested. If they want to share in the profit, they should invest. Do you understand? So even when you bring them into the investment, then you let them see, I'm giving you 10% to staff. So if we make money, staff will share 10%. So I have 90%. If you want to increase this one, you need to do more. Knowledge, when they have this information, then they begin to plan. If they use it against you, you have to create the safety nets so that they can't use those information against you. I may not go into all those at this level because it's something you consult me and you need to pay for it. So, but at this level, this is a free lecture to give you that these things are doable. So don't hoard the information that will make them work. Be effective in your training and be effective in managing the staff. When it calls for discipline, discipline the staff. When it calls for appreciate the staff. And where there is need for improvement in revenue, let them know why there is need. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You, sir. I'm grateful.
I think with this we can come to an end.
Okay, I think, sir, I'm going to apology, and maybe those that still have questions to ask, I will say that let's drop the questions in our different WhatsApp groups, and we'll send the questions to him, and then we'll get the answers. I'm so sorry, but please, sir, don't just give me a minute. Let Pastor Onate, he was talking, then network threw him out and he's back. So I think we should give him the opportunity to speak and let him be the last person.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate this lecture. It was a very fantastic one. Sir, in system of administration and HR, I want to believe that so many things are involved. Just like all my colleagues have been saying all this while. Is giving somebody an opportunity in an organization does not mean there should not be a discipline. And that is why we come into the audit investigation and audit monitoring. For some things, if you are too familiar with the staffs, they get to a point, they take it as privilege. And they misuse the opportunity you are giving to them. And that is why in this kind of organization, now I want to ask a question. And my question goes this way. In a station whereby you have a staffs and you have given them a role to play, and you discover along the line that they were not really performing to expectations, what can we do in these situations? And secondly, according to the HR system, we believe that the management, the leading management are supposed to be more effective for the success of an organization. And a situation whereby you discover that they were planning something else along the line, what can you do? Thank you.
Okay, that's management is planning something else.
Some
I didn't get
parts of the management they collect together to defer or to cause a problem within the organization.
Okay, well, That is not employees' problem. That's a management problem. So where management is bringing in those kind of crisis, you know, HRO and HRO is aware of it. HRO is expected to find a way to moderate and see how those plans will not, affect the business. Because once there is an issue, yeah, I talked about sustainability. Anything that affects the sustainable business it means it's affecting everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have wind that some part of management are planning to separate or they are planning to pull out, crisis management is different. So, but it is the nature of the crisis that will help you to devise the approach to managing it. But HRO is not management. HRO manages the staff on behalf of management. So HRO take instruction from management. Do you understand? So if the management they will take instruction from are having crisis, there is little HRO can do. Okay. Yeah. I won't want to encourage you to handle crises that are more than your capacity or your level to handle, because no matter how wise or how good your suggestions will be, it will not be taken and it will make you no good. Okay, then for the first question, you gave role to staff and they're not performing. What's the why are you HR? What's the KPI? Don't you evaluate the KPIs? If they can't meet their key performance index, why there should be, if they meet it, there's something they should benefit. So if they don't meet it, then there should be something, there are consequences. So if your HRO plans, your management program does not have consequence into it, then something is wrong. You have, for you to be efficient in managing the HRO, you have to build in those stuff and be effective. So the question will come back to you. If they don't perform and meet that KPI, what is on the stuff to do to them? Well, if they meet it, what do you give to them? But if they meet it and you don't give them, then you are demoralizing them. They are demotivating them, and then that becomes a management problem. So HRO should work in such a way that it makes management to meet their own part when the staff achieve or meet their goals that you give to them. Then when they don't meet their goals, instead of you are supposed to discipline them or they are supposed to not to benefit some stuff. But if you watch and you see that, look, they were supposed to, for instance, if it's a sales team that should make 100 million, but they made 17 million, so which means they didn't meet their target of 100 million. So, but as HRO, don't just go ahead and begin to apply the disciplining measures or begin to apply the things that they should not benefit, or things that, look, since you didn't meet this, you are going to lose this or lose that or lose that. You need to know why they didn't meet it, so that before management will hit on them, you are able to present a position that, look, they couldn't meet it because of this. If management is able to do this, be able to meet it. So you empower staff to meet their targets. You also manage with management that staff are your own is to extract effects from staff and also extract the best compensation from management. So that's my response to that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Very,
you
very.
so much. God bless you guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir, for this. So please, I will plead that others that we are not given the opportunity, kindly drop your questions in the group. They will be attended to. So sorry that we couldn't take all the questions, but I believe everybody has gained one or two things from this class. In fact, to an extent, I was like, are we still in HR class? But because we joined the class HR and people's management, which is very key, so it has to go to this dimension. Thank you, everybody, for participating. And I want to plead, just like the other facilitator said, Mr. Kundayo, he said, you are managers, you are leaders of organizations, you are administrators. When you see opportunities like this, bring them, especially when the class is even free like this. Why not let them participate in classes like this? When they participate, you tell them when they finish participating, they are going to report. Each person will report on what he has picked and how he is going to implement that in his department or in his own work. I think with this, you'll be helping to improve your organization also. Let everybody know, this is where I am missing it and all that. And it's very important. Everybody that knows that yes, the person will put all his best into it. I will definitely have issues. And even though it is, you don't need to remind your staff that this organization is your own. They already know. And somebody asked a question about someone that, let's say, I think if I'm getting the question right, is it let other staff and all that? So the issue is this. And they keep deceiving people that are coming in. Probably they feel they are scared of this person coming in might take over my to play them out of that place or try to make them look as if this is very bad. Now, this is where HR, when people come in, the orientation you give them and whatever, how you're able to receive them and let them have what the organization has in stock for them, and then what are the goals of that organization. I work in a place, it's very easy for you to perform in that the owner of that business, the owner of that organization has a way of sewing into you the vision she had from the beginning. So it becomes very easy for you to flow. But when you don't let them know this is what it is, this is where we are, because they'll be like, this thing we are doing, are you sure we even know where we are going? Where are we now? What is the calendar that what are we following? So these are things we need to also look at. I know that with this, I believe we'll be able to improve. We'll try and put the whole materials from day one to yesterday into a PDF, and it will be shared to us in the groups. Okay, the link will be sent to the group. We can always click on that link, and then we will get to go through these materials again for refreshing ourselves, and then we will drop the test link also so that we can start taking our test. Please, you take it, and you're expected to get at least 70%. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night, ma. Thank you very much.
Thank you
so much. May God bless your company. Thank you.
Thank you, and God
Bye.
bless you all. Thanks for a wonderful class.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you, sir.
amazing lectures. Thank you so much.
Precious.
Thank you so much. We are grateful.